Today I am going to start a very important topic of your unit number 2. The name of the topic is Decision Support System. This is an important topic for examination. In this topic, I am going to talk about what is a decision first of all, what are the kinds of decisions, and what is a decision support system, why is it needed, what are the types and architectures of DSS. This is what we are supposed to cover in this particular topic. First of all, what is a decision? Decision is a noun. In terms of the types of words, decision is a noun, and decision basically means a choice. So you have several alternatives in front of you, several courses of action are open before you. You can't take all the courses of action at the same time. You have to choose one of them. It could be something very simple. From here you have to go to Tank Bund. Multiple routes are available. Some routes are longer, some are shorter, some are more congested, some are less congested. So considering your time and cost, you decide which route to follow. So it's a decision. In life, you will have to take decisions many times. As soon as you complete your MBA, you have to take a decision whether to study further for PhD, or to go abroad for a job, or to go abroad for a mess, or to take up a job in India, or to start your own business. You can't do all these things at the same time. You have to choose one of them. So a decision is required. Decision is a choice. One more. After working for 5 years, you have a lot of money. Where are you going to invest the money? In a building, real estate, or you are going to buy stocks and shares? What? It's a decision. It's a choice. So like that, in life, you have to take decisions many times. This is the meaning of decision. Decisions are not only required in personal life, in organizational life also, decisions are required. So let's say we are thinking of expanding our production capacity. We have several options. We can open a new factory in Hyderabad, or open a new factory in Karnataka, or enter into collaboration with an outsourcing firm and get the things manufactured from them. It's also a decision. So just as in personal life you need to take decisions, make choices, similarly in organizations also we need to take decisions and make choices. Decision has got another meaning also. That meaning is a man's capability to make a choice. Like when we want to admire somebody, we say, Sardar Patel was a great leader. He was a man of decisions. So here the meaning of decision is that he had the qualities of head and heart. He was able to make proper choices. Decision has got another third meaning also. If there is a litigation going on in a court, the case is proceeding, both the lawyers are making several arguments in the court. At the end, the judge gives a decision. He gives a judgment. He says, this party A is right, party B is wrong. That's also a decision. So like that, decision is a noun which has got multiple meanings. And as I said, decisions have to be taken in organizations also. And those information systems which help managers to make decisions, those information systems are called decision support systems. The process of decision making is actually a psychological process. The whole process is not with objects. The whole process of decision making happens inside your mind. It's a psychological process. So in your mind, you identify various alternatives. You identify various pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages. And after considering all that, you take a decision, you make a choice. That choice is the decision. So decision support systems as information systems are designed to assist you in this process of decision making. That is the purpose of decision support systems. All decision support systems, they evolved out of MIS, Management Information Systems. Yesterday, I described to you in detail about management information systems. They were a hot craze once upon a time, but they have now evolved, or they later evolved into decision support systems. And this decision support system also further evolved. So present state of the art is not even decision support system. Presently we talk of a still more comprehensive system called business intelligence system or business analytics system. But that is a later stage. From MIS, organizations first came to DSS. From DSS, evolved the business intelligence systems which are currently in use. So we are actually talking about the intermediate stage. Before the arrival of business intelligence and business analytical systems. So that was the stage where decision support systems were used in the organizations. Decisions are of various types. Two major types of decisions are individual decisions and group decisions. Some decisions are individual decisions. Example, as a faculty member, I can decide what topic I am ready today. I will handle that in the class. As per the syllabus sequence, the next topic is, say, X, but I am not ready with that right now. I will tell my students, X will be taken up tomorrow. Today I am doing some other topic. No problem. It's an individual decision. What I am going to wear in the class, what dress I am going to wear, which clothes I am going to wear, it's purely my individual decision. So there are certain decisions which you can take as an individual. You have your own money. Should I buy a house in Madhapur or in LB Nagar? Nobody will guide you on that. You can take your own decision. You may consult your family members. You may not consult. It is your money. You can invest it wherever you want. Such decisions are individual decisions. In organizations, many individual decisions are also taken. For example, my director can decide which room will be allotted to which course, which section. Nobody else will guide him in that. He is the authority. He can tell everybody, this is my decision. Room number 153 is for MBA, B section. Fine. Such decisions are individual decisions. But there are many other decisions which are not individual. They are called group decisions. Because those decisions cannot be taken unless more people collaborate, unless more people are consulted. Because no single individual will have all the information with himself. We have to club the knowledge resources of many people in order to take more complicated decisions. Like in an organization, say a college, if the timetable is to be changed, the principal cannot do it just like that on his own. He will have to consider the timings of various faculty members, their other engagements, they have other duties also. So after consulting all the faculty members only, the principal will be able to make changes in the timetable. This kind of decision is a group decision. In an organization also, there are group decisions. Suppose a company like TCS has to decide whether we should implement work from home now or work from office or work from anywhere. COVID cases are rising in China. COVID cases are rising even in USA also. International travel restrictions are coming back now. In another few days you will find everybody will have to wear mask and sanitize their hands all the time. So TCS has to decide whether to allow certain people to work from home, some other people to be necessarily present in the office. Some can work from anywhere, from a car or from any other location. So if such a kind of decision is to be taken, for TCS, it's a group decision. They have to consider the needs of various departments, conveniences of various employees. So just as in human life, some decisions are individual decisions, some are group decisions. Similarly, in organizations also, there are individual decisions as well as group decisions. The decision support systems, they are supposed to support both these kinds of decisions, individual decisions and group decisions. When group decisions are to be supported, your decision support system cannot be a desk-based system. It has to be server-based. So the architecture used in those systems will be client-server architecture, because multiple users have to share the data in that. Multiple users have to give their inputs, and on that basis only the final decision can be arrived at. Many group decisions are very complicated, which involve inputs from multiple engineers, multiple executives working in different locations. Example is product design. When a new product design is to be finalized, it is never one man's decision. Every product today is multifunctional. There are electrical parts involved, mechanical parts are involved, like caster wheels, pipes, knobs, faucets, and electronic parts are involved, displays are involved, software is involved. So a product design is no longer a single person's prerogative now. Multiple engineers have to work simultaneously on the product design, and then only they will be able to finalize the product design changes or alterations. So such group decisions, when they have to be taken, the decision support system must be on a client server architecture so that there is accessibility to multiple engineers and executives. So this is one way we can classify the types of decisions: individual decisions and group decisions. There is one more way also. That is, decisions can be either logical or intuitive. Logical decisions are those which are taken after considering all the facts, figures and data, after analyzing data, after visualizing data. When you take a decision like that, it's a rational decision. Such decisions are logical decisions. All decisions in life cannot be logical. You cannot take, because logical decisions need availability of enormous amount of data, enormous amount of external information also, and a lot of analysis. In many situations, data may not be available, external information may be lacking, or in an emergency situation, you will have no time to do all the analysis. This happens. There are emergencies in corporate life. A big executive has suddenly died or left the organization. You have to find a replacement. You cannot take months together to analyze pros and cons. It has to be done fast. So in these circumstances, you cannot always go for a logical decision. In such cases, top executives, they take intuitive decisions. The decisions based upon their judgment. Don't think that decisions of the intuitive type are undesirable. They are not. In many situations in the world, intuitive decision is the only possibility. You can consider it a political decision at the time of elections, or a marketing decision during an advertising campaign. At those times, when we are in a hurry to arrive at a decision, you cannot afford to paralyze your organization with excessive analysis. That will be paralysis due to analysis. It is very harmful for the organization. So in such circumstances, logical decisions have to be sacrificed in favor of intuitive decisions. Now, out of these two, I have talked about two kinds of decisions right now: logical and intuitive. Intuitive cannot always be supported by decision support systems, but logical decision making is supported by decision support systems. So this is what you have to understand about the utility of DSS. So I hope you understand now. DSS supports individual as well as group decisions. It supports logical decisions very perfectly. When it comes to intuitive decisions, they are also needed in corporate life, but DSS is generally unable to support intuitive decisions. We can state this fact in another way also. Logical decisions are structured decisions. Structured decisions are those which are based upon facts and figures, which are supported by data, analysis, and visualization. Such structured decisions are excellent for being supported by DSS. Semi-structured decisions, which involve some data support but a little judgment from the executives, they are also supported by DSS. But DSS generally is not able to provide much support when your decision is unstructured, that is intuitive. And as I told you just now, intuitive decisions cannot always be avoided. In emergency situations, in situations where we cannot afford paralysis due to analysis or external information is lacking, there executives have to take intuitive decision, and there, since it is an unstructured problem, unstructured decision, we mostly go by the judgment of the topmost executives. So this is the role of decision support system in organizations. DSS is mostly used at the upper two levels of the organizational pyramid. I hope you understand what I am saying. In the organization, in every organization, there are three levels of executives. Topmost level, which is very narrow level of the pyramid. Middle level is little wider, and the junior managers level, which is the widest. Decision support system mostly focuses on the mid and higher levels of management. It is not used much for junior level management. Why? The reason is junior level managers, they are mostly involved in processing transactions. And transaction processing is best done not through DSS. It is best done through OLTP, online transaction processing systems, about which I had spoken to your class earlier. So junior managers mostly focus on OLTP systems. They mostly work on that. It is the mid-level managers and the top-level managers who mostly make use of the analytical tools provided by decision support systems. So DSS is focused more on the mid-level and top level of management. One more thing I would like to mention here, that DSS is a great improvement over its predecessor, the MIS. In MIS, We were only collating the data, classifying the data, summarizing the data and reporting the data. In that, there were no analytical models used. That concept was not there in the MIS. But when we come to DSS, in that, the models are also to be built into. This is a very fine point. This is a very subtle point, which as managers, you need to understand. We will take a specific example now, from which you can understand this subtle difference between MIS and DSS. Think of a situation where you are trying to make decisions about inventory control. Inventory control is a continuous, important activity in our organization. On a day-to-day basis, you have to decide how much stock I should keep. Say there is a spare part required, a particular bearing is required for my machinery. Now when that bearing fails, that bearing has to be replaced. I have several machines running 24/7, so failures can happen, breakdowns can happen. Should I keep 10 bearings in stock, 20 in stock, 100 in stock? There are pros and cons. If I keep 100 bearings in stock, the chance of a stock out will be very less. That means the probability of loss due to the bearing not being available at the right time will be very low. But what about the cost of inventory keeping? Cost is going to be very high. When it comes to keeping only a limited stock, I decide to keep only 5 bearings in my store, the inventory carrying cost will be less. But what about the risk of a stock out? If 3 or 4 bearings have a breakdown during the same week, you may not be able to procure another bearing to carry out the maintenance. So you are taking more risk. When you have to take such a complicated decision, you cannot do it just by addition and subtraction. There is a decision model required for that. Yes, this is a very structured problem. This is a very well-defined, well-structured problem where decision models are available and they have to be used. There is no other option for you. Such models are there in your subject called operations research. It is not there in your first semester, but in further semesters it is going to be there. In operations research you will come across this problem, and this is a decision model which will be based upon discrete probability distributions. The correct name of the distribution is Poisson discrete probability distribution. So we will have to make a mathematical and statistical model using which the decision about keeping spare parts inventory can be taken. In an MIS system, this model will not be available. MIS system only focuses on collecting the data, classifying, summarizing and reporting. It doesn't help you with a decision model to take a decision. But a DSS, a decision support system, goes to that extent. In a decision support system, the decision models are built into it. And those decision models are readily available in your DSS. They help you to take the decision. So you have to understand that MIS, Management Information Systems, focus mostly on data access, retrieval, classification and reporting. DSS is not just that. DSS is a step beyond. DSS also has built-in decision models which could be built on mathematical models like data mining, or a mathematical model like machine learning, or a mathematical model like deep learning, or a mathematical model like normal probability distribution, Poisson probability distribution, beta distribution. All these mathematical and statistical models are built into the decision support system. That's why MIS systems are practically similar in most organizations, but DSS is not similar. In every organization, the types of decisions are different. Like if you are working in a forest department, every government has got a forest department also. There, your decisions are about conservation of the forest, conservation of trees, felling of the trees, collection of timber. You need a different decision model. But in a maintenance situation in a factory, as I described about bearings, your decision model has to be different. So like that, decision support systems differ from one organization to another organization, and generally it will not be possible for you to use the same decision support system in every organization. So students, this topic we will continue in the next class also.